So this KVK is over and the Lost Kingdom is actually going to close in around 5 hours. Now if you don't know, we've lost this KVK, 08 has won, congrats to them, and I've kind of known this result ever since Zone 5. I know there's been some allegations and drama surrounding this KVK, with 08 being 1v3'd in Kingsland. Now I'm not going to comment on this because frankly I do not care. What matters most is that we lost this KVK. We have now currently 622 million KP, obviously lower than I expected or preferred. There are 3 big reasons as to why my KP is so low after this KVK. 1, there was some really weird standoffs and staring during Kingsland with the entire 1v3 situation. It was really awkward. Number 2, it's because our rally garrison was very weird. I'll talk about that later. And number 3, I just missed out the entirety of day 2 of Kingsland fighting. So let's just go over what we lost since we did lose this KVK. We are losing gold heads and legendary pick one chests, which does hurt. As you can see in the coalition section, this is where it really hurts. We're missing tons of materials. We're also missing 10 gold heads here. It's a lot. You know, more legendary materials. And then if we go down to the individual, we pretty much got everything here. I got my 100k honor from runes, and of course we also grabbed faith 5. Now I did have to trade 5 million T1 kills, not ideal, but we do get a decent chunk of resources. Now looking at duds, I only got 500k duds this KVK, very low, because our kingdom said, okay, train cav, but they never mentioned we didn't have any infantry or archer rally garrison, so I was stuck filling cav and I only had around 450k entering this KVK. I spent around 5 billion resources. It is what it is. It's not that bad. I can get it back very easily. Alright, so it is currently day 336 of this account. We're very close to VIP 16, which is nice. What I'm doing is I'm in the home kingdom right now. I'm just sniping these barbarian strongholds. If you don't know, barbarian strongholds have a 25% chance to spawn a miser when you activate it. And these misers have a chance to drop a chest which contains the pendant. If you don't know, a pendant is a legendary accessory. Gives you 5% more skill damage, and we currently have 14, and we're just looking for more to complete it and build it for QSH. As said in my last video, we are going to be building our cav march. We're done our archer and our infantry, so now we're going to be building our new cav. We don't know if the new commander that is coming out is going to pair better with Achilles or Arthur, so I'm just going to hold off on all my wheel spins if it's on Arthur. And of course, we're going to get Achilles later in dailies. The set that we're going to be building is the 2-piece KVK, 2-piece Hellish Wasteland, and Navars with Ash of the Dawn. So now let's talk about why you've clicked on this video. I'm going to be creating a timeline to plan how I'm going to build this third march, which is my cav march. So I'm going to be budgeting my gold heads and materials to efficiently build this march. How am I going to do this? I'll be calculating my gold heads per day and my materials per day to see if I can squeeze out, let's say for example, a ring in there before I get enough gold heads to expertise both commanders. It'll make more sense as I show you and explain now. So let's start with gold head calculations. I earn 3 a day from VIP. I get 20 every month from AOO, so that's 0.6 gold heads every day. From Champions of Olympia, I get around 0.3 a day. From More Than Gems, I get around 0.33 a day. That's if I only spend 14k gems per More Than Gems. And from Lucerne Scrolls, I get 0.2 gold heads a day. And from other events such as Silk Road, Alliance Mobilization, 20 gold head events, Koroks, you get the point. That averages around 1.5 gold heads per day. Additionally, from this KVK4, we are going to be guaranteeing 26 gold heads from the Season of Conquest shop. Now, if we take the sum of that and just do some napkin math, it averages around 6.2 gold heads per day at least, because there's obviously other very niche events such as Card King, right? We can get universal gold heads there. And there's obviously the wheel. Now onto materials to calculate. we will be assessing them through epics per day and then converting it to legendaries after we sum it all up. So blacksmith first, because it is the easiest. You get around 1.9 epics per day. Baller runs, I plan to only do 2 runs every 3 days. That nets me around 0.6 epics per day. I don't plan to be that active this off season. And this can be switched out for chaining during KVK, which is obviously higher than 0.6 epics per day, but let's just take 0.6 to lowball and get the minimum value. Egg, I will be 100 spinning every month, and that nets me around 2 epics every day. And then there's events such as Dalrooks, the Hammer event, and other small events that give random equipment. This nets me around 0.3 epics per day. Additionally, there's also Sunset Canyon, which I should be doing every single day. This gives me around 0.7 epic materials a day. Very significant. But the big contributor here is actually the Ceroli, Golden Kingdom, and Mystique events. These happen 6 times every month, and on average, they give 8 non-bones that are epic material level, and that doesn't include crystal keys. This averages to around 1.6 epics per day. Finally, we have the KVK shop. We get a guaranteed 48 epic equipment chests from this. And if we sum everything up, that gets me around 7.6 epics every day. And you convert that to legendaries, it is 1.9 legendaries per day at minimum. Let's take a look at our current stash. So I'm not going to pause and go through each individually. I've already calculated it. If you want to pause and take a look, go ahead. It's around 100 non-bone legendary materials, very close to that pendant already. As for gold heads, we have 226. With all that information, we can now begin creating a timeline. So 8 days from now, I'll have 120 legendary materials, allowing me to craft my pendant. At that time, I'll have 290 gold heads. Now 60 days from current time, I'll be able to grab another 120 legendary materials, allowing me to craft a ring. At that point, I'll have 662 gold heads, which is just shy of 1 expertise commanders. A whopping 170 days from now, I'll be at 220 legendary materials with enough gold heads to expertise 2 commanders. 220 legendary materials might sound like a lot, but realistically, that's going to get us a Con Helmet, which is 60, the Hellish Wasteland, which is another 60. We're going to be sitting on purple gloves. We're going to craft our Ash of the Dawn, which is another 60, so that brings us to 180. And with our last 40 legendary materials, we'll be crafting the Hellish Wasteland boots. That does mean we're going to be sitting on our purple weapon instead of Sacred Dominion and purple gloves, but that's fine because this already is around 90% of the final set's power level. And the new Cav Commander is probably going to be QSH level, so I'm not too concerned about how that March is going to trade. So last week, there was the egg event for weapon and accessories. I spun it for the drums. Now, the reason I'm crafting my ring at day 60 instead of drums is because I'll only have 2 marches at that point, and if you did not know, drums buff 3 marches instead of 2, so I'll essentially be buffing someone else that I don't really care about. As you can see, I do activate the Alliance Mobilization quest, which you should be doing before events such as Egg, just to maximize my efficiency.